Hello, this is Cinnabon18, and this is my review for Spiral from the Book of Saw. This was a movie that I was very excited for because I was a big fan of the Saw franchise. Ever since I first watched them when I was about 15 years old, I watched them back in like 2016. It's been a few years, but I had bought basically the first couple, watched them, and then I had to and then I found out that they had a collection with all of them and bought that collection. And I really enjoyed the franchise, and then I really wanted to watch the Jigsaw when it came out in theaters, but it was nowhere around me, and I don't think I was technically old enough to buy a ticket at the time, and no one wanted to go with me. But anyways, I might have been. I didn't really have transportation to go either, because like I said, it was nowhere around where I lived. But this one, it was the first one I actually got to watch in theaters, and I was really excited for it. I was excited for the new take. I was excited to see what connections it would have with the original, if there were any. And I was just excited to see where the franchise was going to go from here. This is a very different type of Saw movie than the other ones. This one is very much a dark, not in cinematography wise, but a dark story. I see the other ones I don't view as dark. I view them more as horror movies. This one feels more like a drama, like a noir drama. I know noir, there might be some sort of definition that I don't exactly agree with, but I consider this a noir definitely. It might not exactly fit the bill, but it is a detective story about basically corruption, and that seems very noir to me. It's starring Chris Rock and Samuel L. Jackson, as well as, I forget her name, the mother from Riverdale, which is a show I also really like, and then the villain from the movie The Internship. I forget his name. I didn't forget it, I just didn't know it. Sorry. But it's basically, it's a story about corruption, and it's a good one at that. Chris Rock came up with this idea, and I think he had a really good idea for where this universe could go and how it could bring some real-world parallels. And I think this was really well made. The story, without going into too much details, like I said, is a story mainly about corruption in the police force. The traps, of course, were cool. Some were gruesome. There were some scenes that weren't very gruesome. And some scenes were just cool, yet a little gruesome, that weren't even traps. But my biggest complaint with this movie is, in some scenes, Chris Rock doesn't seem like the type of dramatic lead that Chris Rock, or that this type of movies could and should have. I'm glad Chris Rock did it because it was idea. It's like, who else would play Hamilton except for the guy who created the musical Hamilton? But somebody else might have been better served in the role. But it was very hard to see Chris Rock in another role, and there were some parts where his comedic light was shining through. It would be like Kevin Hart trying to act intimidating. It's not easily believable, but you can have your suspension of disbelief for about 90% of the runtime, which I guess is better than I thought it was going to be. I would give this movie a 9 out of 10. It was very good, and I hope there's a sequel. Without getting into any details, I hope there's a sequel. I hope most things that I like have a sequel. But thank you for watching. Please consider hitting that subscribe button. This is Cinnabon18 signing out. See you later.